Good evening. My first name is not Superintendent, it is Sam. So, hello, I am Sam Ainslie. So, very much echo the sentiments of the previous speaker, so thank you. So, firstly, I would like to thank you for inviting me to attend both the dinner, which was delicious, and I have to admit that I didn't go for the low-calorie option for dessert, unfortunately, and of course your commissioning service. Having been asked to provide a short message of appreciation, please be assured that I will follow that direction with an emphasis on both the short and the appreciation. So when I was preparing this message, I was struck by our shared values and purpose, very opportune in my role as Partnership Superintendent for Edinburgh City Division. So as a direct lift from your website, a street pastor is someone from the Christian community who is willing to care, listen and help, particularly people who have found themselves disenfranchised and or marginalised from society. A street pastor is willing to engage with people in an open and non-judgmental manner, whatever their situation. The street pastor is there to get to know people in the community and to build relationships in order to find out their needs and offer support or guidance. Street pastors must gain the credibility of the community so that the community knows that the church has come to them. I appreciate that some of you may be aware of Sir Robert Peel. However, for those who are not, he's basically regarded as sort of the founder of modern policing, as the founder of the Metropolitan Police Service. Now, given that was in 1829 and obviously nearly 200 years, I suggest that's a rather broad interpretation of modern, but hey-ho. However, the reason I mention him is that he penned 9 Peelian principles, and in essence, the foundations of policing, widely regarded as being equally relevant today. And I wish to highlight 3 specifically this evening. 1, the ability of the police to perform their duties depends on public approval of police actions. 2, police must secure the willing cooperation of the public in voluntary observance of the law to be able to secure and maintain the respect of the public. And I'm sure you'll recognise that as policing by consent. And then 3, police at all times should maintain a relationship with the public that gives reality to the historic tradition that the police are the public and the public are the police, and the police being only members of the public who are paid to give full-time attention to duties which are incumbent on every citizen in the interests of community welfare and existence. So I note an understanding of the imperatives of relevance, legitimacy and community well-being interwoven throughout your purpose, as I obviously read through your sort of website. Specifically in relation to Police Scotland's purpose, it's very broad, and it is to improve the safety and well-being of people, places and communities in Scotland, and for our purposes, of course, Edinburgh, a great capital. And with our values, those of fairness, integrity, human rights, underpinning all that we do. Again, I note obvious commonality and shared tenets between ourselves and yourselves. Indeed, as variously reported in the media, a large proportion of policing demand does not result in the creation of a crime report, but instead is focused on community well-being and supporting vulnerability, whether that be as a result of challenges posed by intergenerational societal issues such as mental health, drug and drink harms, poverty, homelessness, and many, many more. And whilst our officers are trained in legislation and process and practice, they also receive training around the impacts of adverse life experiences, trauma-informed practice and stigma to ensure that they see the person and not just the problem. Again, I suggest that's very resonant with the sentiments obviously you advocate too. After all, we are just people in uniform, and often rather than using our warranted powers, we provide what you provide, kindness and mindfulness. We listen, we assist in ensuring that people that are vulnerable can access services, or indeed we signpost those services. As I'm sure you will agree, little things matter, and it's not just what we do, but how we do it. And again, I feel there's a resonance there with what you obviously advocate. That said, We are fully aware that we don't have all the answers, nor indeed are we often best equipped or placed. Often our uniform can act as a barrier. In our newly published local police plan, the Divisional Commander, Chief Superintendent Sean Scott, reaffirms the value, professionalism, experience and contribution of our partners in developing sustainable solutions to address the challenges that we all face today. We recognise that holistic approaches focused on prevention and early intervention often prove more effective in delivering positive outcomes than traditional enforcement activities alone. So in brief, we can't just arrest our way out of things. This integrated approach undoubtedly ensures that those in need have ready access to a suite of services led and delivered by the agencies and practitioners best skilled and equipped to do so, which includes yourself, the street pastors. Using Edinburgh's vibrant nighttime economy as an example of how your work adds value, whilst Edinburgh is a safe city, please be assured it is, our officers remain committed to ensuring the well-being of all of those who work within or visit licensed premises in the capital. As you will know, Operation Night Guard provides our dedicated weekend policing presence across the city centre, preventing violence and antisocial behaviour and promoting public reassurance. But policing is only part of that story. And our officers work in partnership with yourselves and, whilst in no way exhaustive, colleagues from the City of Edinburgh Council, taxi marshals, licensing standard officers, CCTV operators and other organisations and volunteers. Street pastors play an integral role in this multi-agency collaborative by giving up your time and for caring for those in need, those unable to care for themselves, whether that be through practical assistance or wellbeing support. You not only demonstrate benevolence and compassion, but complement emergency service resources in safeguarding and signposting vulnerable individuals. And on behalf of Chief Superintendent Sean Scott, who gives his apologies for this evening, I am privileged to have the opportunity to acknowledge and thank you for your work and public spiritedness. In closing, I'm reminded of a phrase that someone needs to do something about that, and you individually and collectively embody that. You are those somebodies who are willing to step forward and do something to safeguard others without fear or favour, and we look forward to continuing to work with you and, of course, the soon-to-be newly commissioned street pastors in the future. So thank you.